How is it that some comp sci student from Norway managed to get his game Carlson on the list of the top 30 most wishlisted games on all of Steam? And how is it that his insane devlogs consistently get viewed by millions of devoted fans every video, and not one other game dev YouTuber has even come close? Is it really just all the memes, or has Dani realized something about game dev and YouTube that the rest of us completely missed? To figure this out, I decided to take on the task of deciphering this magnanimous, enigmatic mind, and to try to figure out the answer to one simple question. What does Dani know that we don't?
I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just a guy.
So I rewatched a bunch of Dani's videos, and I'm beginning to notice a very subtle change he made early on that I think holds the secret to how he blew up. See, Dani is a very interesting individual. He's probably best known for his random and self-deprecating sense of humor, but what you might not know is that this is actually the 4th YouTube channel he's been running. And although he'd have you believe he's a moron stumbling through life, he definitely knows what he's doing, which is especially obvious when you look at the big change he made early on. As I rewatched more of Dani's videos, I noticed that his older content was a lot more serious and educational, whereas his new stuff is, well... What Dani picked up on is that YouTubers have to really thoroughly understand who their target audience is. How old are they? Do they make money? What are they excited about? What are they scared of? What do they find funny? And while most game developers are out there making videos for other game developers, Dani realized that what he was more interested in making was content for young gamers. His content is perfectly catered towards Gen Z kids, who are constantly getting bombarded by overused marketing rhetoric. His irony...
If we can hit 1 million likes, I will literally drink milk. I'm not even just...
genuineness.
We have a problem. This stupid trend is dying faster than my will to live, so we have to finish this game quickly.
And pure human nonsense.
We want the ability to just vault over the edge and keep going, because you don't want to end up with smashed face disease, because that's very bad.
Really resonate with them. But just doing that alone isn't what got him millions of followers and probably hundreds and thousands of wishlists, to the point where the moment he hits that launch button for Carlson, he becomes a millionaire. See, as an already successful YouTuber, Dani understood that he had to research other creators outside of just game developers to see what format of videos attract the kind of audience interested in the content that he wanted to make. He knew that creators like Mr. Beast did challenge videos with high stakes that everybody loves to watch, so he did something similar in his making a game in a shorter and shorter amount of time series. Kind of an obvious strategy if you think about it. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but, well, it sounds really hard to get your audience that deeply and to catch on to exciting video formats. And to be honest, yeah. It is. There's a reason why Dani likely makes $6,000 a month, at least according to Statsmash.com, and potentially up to $14,000 according to Social Blade. But that still doesn't answer another question that was strongly on my mind, which was, is YouTube actually worth doing for indie game developers? Because you see all this and you think,
wow, I should try to get millions of views on YouTube and promote my games that way.
Well, I think it's actually a pretty complicated question, and not necessarily for the reasons that you might think. See, YouTube isn't the only or even the best, and by far not the easiest way to get people to wishlist your games on Steam. But then, why did Dani do it? Consider first of all that Dani's YouTube revenue alone is an insanely good full-time job salary, and as anyone can tell you, a full-time job requires full-time effort, and the more you make in that full-time job, the more you've probably invested of your time and energy into that craft. The thing is, Dani found a way to use that effort to reach an audience that matches something that he loved doing. He decided to be himself in his videos and go all out with his sense of humor. Even his games are designed to make for great video ideas. In other words, I think Dani chose to focus on YouTube because fundamentally he's an entertainer and a funny, smart guy who wants to show people his craziest ideas that just wouldn't fly with the classic game marketing strategies. And this brings me to 3 very important things that anyone who wishes they could get even 10% of Dani's growth absolutely needs to consider before using YouTube to promote their games. And you won't actually find the first of these things on YouTube. Find them over on Steam. It's your wishlist count. And if you use GameStats or SteamDB, you can actually see when any game got a huge spike in wishlists by looking at their followers, because 1 follower is on average equal to 10 wishlists. So we can see that every time Carlson got a huge spike in wishlists, that was also the same day that Dani posted a video telling his viewers to go wishlist the game. But he was also posting other videos in between those where he didn't link to Carlson, and yeah, we get no spike there. Which means that even with that huge audience, Dani still has to remind them to actually go and wishlist the game. But that's still not enough for us to know if YouTube is worth it, because we need to see exactly how many of Dani's viewers actually heard him out, followed the link, went to Steam, and wishlisted the game. This is called the viewer to wishlist conversion rate, and it's actually actually pretty easy to figure out. If we look at this spike for his boss fight video, we see he got 710 followers. That's roughly 7,000 wishlists. But the video got 600,000 views that day. That's only about a 1% conversion rate. So this brings us to the second thing we need to consider. Coming from experience, it's not easy to just jump into YouTube and get even 10,000 views on a video, which in this example would get you a whopping 10 wishlists. So how likely is it that we can even get enough views for that 1% conversion rate to count for anything? In the case of Dani, he understands YouTube. He knows what his viewers want to see before they know. And you might think, well, of course he does, he's a natural. But comparing his early devlogs to his most recent videos proves that it's something he actually put effort into learning. So it's not like there's just no hope if you're not talented. But improving a skill takes time that you might not have if you're also working or in school and learning game dev. But there is one hack that can increase your chances, which Dani did and anyone can do, which isn't really a hack at all, it's just basic marketing, and that's offering something brand new to the niche that no one else is doing. Let me explain. Dani's older devlogs are almost beat for beat copies of Thin Matrix's style, which works for his audience, but Dani couldn't be a better Thin Matrix. It was only when he looked at successful formats from other niches, refit them for game dev, and added his personality that he got his success. For you, it might be a unique take on game design, or devlogs of a new great game with a killer hook, or combining video formats from your viewers' other favorite hobbies. But above all, and this is really key here, it has to be something that you genuinely enjoy doing. It's hard to nail that down sometimes. Because I think in reality, Dani isn't necessarily living the game dev dream, or rather not my version, or maybe your version of the game dev dream. He worked hard to get what he's got, and I hope he enjoys it, but sometimes I think people get really worked up trying to do something they think they should do, which distracts them from doing the thing they actually want or need to do, which is often a lot simpler to figure out than sometimes it seems. Actually, believe it or not, there's still another trick Dani's got up his sleeve that I think is really important. If we look at all of his currently released games, none of them are actually for sale. Both Muck and Crab Game got tons of attention, and they're completely free. So if you're not quite sure if YouTube is for you after all, a great way to build credibility as a game developer would be to make a few free games and put them up on Steam. It shows people that you have great ideas and that you're not just in it for the money. So whether you're set on doing YouTube or you want to grow an audience some other way, what we have to remember is just like Dani isn't making videos to watch all by himself in his room, we're all trying to make games that people will want to play. Our games somehow need to be just as eye-catching on Steam as Dani's videos are on YouTube. And for people to be able to find your games, you need to come up with the right strategy to get people's attention. And if you watch this video, you'll see another fantastic system that any game developer absolutely needs to know if you have a great game idea that you think is worth sharing with the world. Thanks for watching, and God bless.